Welcome to the John Clarence Gomez Show, Mitch.
Woo! Thank you so much for having me. This is really exciting.
How do you start as an actor?
How did I start as an actor?
Yes.
Great question. When I was, I think, 10 years old, my best friend started doing drama classes. And because my best friend was doing it, I wanted to do it too. And so I started doing drama classes. And then I did a play called Alice in Wonderland. And that was the first play I ever did. And I was so small that they got me to play the executioner role because I was very unintimidating. It was a kids show, and since then I've been doing theater shows for the last almost 20 years. Yeah.
What is your life in Singapore when you are in Singapore?
What's my life like in Singapore?
Yes.
I actually, I haven't lived in Singapore for a couple of years now. I was living in Singapore for 6 years, where I went to study musical theater and performed, as an actor for a few years. And then I met my wife in Singapore, and we've moved down to Melbourne in Australia. And the last time I was in Singapore, we got married, and that was awesome. And I've got, because of Mel, I've got a lot of family up there, and I'm hoping that I can come back sometime soon and do another show in Singapore, because I worked in the industry for a few years, so I got a lot of friends, and I really like the people there that work in theater. So I'm looking forward to coming back sometime over the next couple of years when the world opens up.
You are part of the Pangdemonyo musical Rent in
Yeah, yeah.
2016.
Yeah. The musical Rent. That was great. That was a really, getting to work with like Ben Chow and Tracy and Adrian and like
Tabita
on that big
Nocel.
stage. Sorry.
Tabita Nocel.
Yeah. LaSalle. Yeah, lots of people from LaSalle in there as
Yeah.
well. Yeah.
The cast of Rent in Pangdemonium is Erwin Shah, Ismael,
Oh
and
yeah. Yeah.
Tabita Nocel.
Yeah. Owen, Tabitha. Um, yeah, lots of people that were in it, and it was a nice show. Something that I got out of it actually was because the show itself is all about Rent is all about love and loving people,
Yeah.
no matter what, and the seasons of love
Yes, you
and
sing. I saw you on YouTube singing that. Season
oh
of
yeah,
Love. Yes.
mm, yeah, great. And it was an interesting time, right? Doing that show, because I remember learning a lot about love actually doing the show Rent itself, and I was playing like the bad guy, and yeah, it was really great, and I miss a lot of those people actually. Tabby, I haven't seen in years, and we had a really close relationship. And Cam McDonald, who played Roger, he also lives in Melbourne. He's one of the people that convinced me to move down here. So that's what happened. Yeah.
And also, do you know Mina Kay? Mina Kay is also on Rent.
Yeah. I know Mina as well.
She's
Yeah,
a,
I
she's
really
a
really
great.
enjoyed.
She is a great actress. I saw him on
Yeah.
YouTube singing many Broadway songs.
She's fantastic. Because we went to the same school together, so I really look up to her, and I always really have. Like as a performer, she's really exceptional. Yeah.
What is the difference of theater in Singapore and theater in Australia? What is the difference of the
Mm,
two
mm, good,
of the
yeah,
two
good
countries
question.
when it comes to theater?
Yeah. For me, like my experience, I think my experience is probably different to other people's, but for me, theater in Singapore was really accessible. As an actor, it was quite easy for me to work and to, get to know people. And I didn't feel like there was any competition um, in terms of like getting into theater as an actor. Whereas maybe down in Australia, there's a lot more people that are training and auditioning, and the theater. There's a lot more theater in Australia as well. You get like a lot of fringe shows, and then all the way up to the big scale productions constantly throughout the year. The same in Singapore. Um, but I think there's just more people down here, and I personally, the quality of theater, it's kind of hard to say. I think it's like each country has their own journey with theater and their own expression of their national identity. And I know, I think just the fact that, like, what am I saying about this? Theater, I haven't really done a lot of theater in Australia in a while. And it's something, again, that I'd like to do some more of.
How many shows in musical theater do you do in Singapore? In Singapore, how many shows?
Um, how many? Because I did a lot in school. I probably did like six or so in school, and then after that, I think I did maybe about another six or so musical theater shows. I was in Treasure Island, which was a pirate musical. I also did a reading for a musical called My Love Is Blind. Um, that was interesting. I had to do a Singlish accent, which was pretty hard. And yeah, and I did Rent. I did Tropicana. So I did a bunch. I did Garfield as well. So it's kind of hard to remember how many. I just remember that I've done a lot. Yeah.
What is the difference of living in Singapore and living in Australia? What is the difference of two?
Mm. Oh man, the first thing is the food. The food in Singapore is so good, and I miss it so much, almost every day. Just how easy it is. And I think also living in Singapore, it's very easy to get around as well. Whereas in Australia, I mean, you have to drive and everything's quite far away. But I also I miss the weather in Singapore, like having it just be 30 degrees every day, perfect. Whereas in Melbourne, the weather is crazy. One day it's like 10 degrees, the next day it's 30 degrees, the next day it's thunderstorming, the next day it's like there's pollen in the air, so you get hay fever. It's wild. But I mean, I like Melbourne. I like Australia. Like, it seems a bit more, I guess, liberal, I would say. It
Yeah.
seems more kind of like weird things to do, and I like doing the weird kind of events and stuff like that. Yeah.
And do you have a YouTube channel? And you create in your YouTube channel, you create many funny videos. Can you tell
Mm.
us? Can you tell about your YouTube channel?
Yeah, sure, sure. So my YouTube channel, the idea that it's kind of in an evolution at the moment. It's YouTube has been a difficult one for me, actually. I figured out how to kind of work TikTok, but YouTube, I'm constantly looking at it and being like, okay, what do I want to do here? What do I want to make? And I've been making a lot of a cappella music videos, which
Yeah,
I really like. And I think what I'm doing with my YouTube is like I'm quite a creative person. Like I can do a lot of different things, and what I want to do with my YouTube is to go on what I'd say like creative journeys, and to almost teach people about creativity through going through those creative journeys myself, and have a great fun time as well, and be funny and entertaining, and bring all my skills, and almost make it like my own TV show that I get to do for people. Yeah.
in your video on YouTube, you are singing. I saw you on video on YouTube. You are singing called Coney Island.
Hmm.
Coney Island from The Simpsons.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh, how do you create that videos? You are singing with because in your video in Coney Island, you
yeah,
are four. How do you create that
mhm,
videos? Four face.
yeah,
One
yeah.
people singing in four. How do you edit that video?
That's a good question. So that one I did in my bedroom. I put up a big blue sheet just behind me, and I filmed me doing the. So I did the song first. I recorded the song, mixed the song, had that as a separate thing. I got in the costume, big blue sheet, and then I filmed myself 4 times doing kind of like the same sort of dance. And because the technology we have these days, right, with video editing, I just use what's called keying. Take away the blue screen, add in the 4 of me, and I was also surprised myself at like how well it just fit together like that. Yeah, it's surprising. The technology makes it quite easy to to yeah, to do that. So I had 4 of me all singing at once, all singing and dancing together. Yeah.
You are also a children entertainer because I saw you on YouTube performing in High Five.
Hmm. Hmm.
High Five.
Yeah.
And you visit my country, the Philippines, and you perform in the Philippines. High Five.
Hmm.
Can you tell about High Five when you are working in High Five?
Yeah, of course, man. Working in High Five was one of the greatest joys of my life. Getting to sing and dance about love and fun with God, probably close to, I don't know, like hundreds of thousands of kids over a few years. Um, just thinking about it right now, I'm kind of moved at like how awesome that time period was. And I got to travel the world as well. I got to travel to Dubai, the Philippines. I loved being in the Philippines. Really great people.
Yes.
Yeah. And yeah, that was my favorite tour actually, because I got to, I've been working with kids for so long, that I really understand how that works and what kids love, and the comedic timing with kids and the kind of energy you need to bring. So the people at High Five, they asked me to write and to direct, and so the show that I took to the Philippines, the Christmas show, I actually wrote that show and I directed it and I was in it as well. So, just as an artist, like that was really awesome. And I based the show on the 5 languages of love. I think I can't remember them off the top of my head, but yeah, with the idea like that I get to, travel the world with some amazing people teaching kids about love. And how I think about it is in maybe like 10 or even 20 years, like this show is going to impact these children's lives and they're going to choose to love people rather than to fear people throughout their lifetime. So I mean, I can't even explain like the opportunity and the privilege of getting to work like that. Yeah, it's awesome.
Let's talk about TikTok.
Yeah, let's do it.
How do you become famous in TikTok? You got 100,000 followers.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Great question. TikTok. So my best friend, who he just turned 30 yesterday, actually. He is an artist. He has something like 250,000 followers on Instagram. He goes by the handle Struthless, and his name's Campbell Walker. And he he told me one day, he said, "Oh, there's this new app called TikTok, and it's really easy. People are blowing up on it really quick. You should go and get on it." And I was like, "Yeah, okay, cool. I trust what you say." So I went on it and I started making one TikTok every day for maybe about a month. And towards the end of that month, this was last year, I had a couple of videos that popped off. Some of me just like dancing, and I did a bit of editing. I had a Star Wars video as well. And I got about 10,000 followers. I was like, "Wow, this is awesome." And then I had to stop. I had to stop making the videos because um, I was going to get married, and I didn't have time to get married and to make TikTok videos at the same time. So I took a big break for maybe like 3 or 4 months, and then lockdown happened. So I was on my honeymoon, and this is kind of getting the long story here. So I was on my honeymoon and had to come home because of the coronavirus, and we're in uh, lockdown, and again I get the idea. I was like, okay, I'm going to make some more TikTok videos, and I start by just copying what other popular TikTokers have done and kind of maybe putting my own spin on it. And then one of my videos where I speak in reverse, or like I speak backwards and then reverse it, and I was dressed up like a superhero. Like that went viral. I woke up one day, it had like 100,000 views, and I was like, wow, that's a lot of people. And so I just kind of making videos in the same sort of vein, dressing up as a superhero, and had more videos going viral. And before I knew it, I think it was like 2 months where I was just making at least a video a day, if not two videos every single day. And I went from 10,000 subscribers to 200,000 followers in just such a short period of time. And I think also because of the coronavirus, everybody's inside, everybody's on their phone. And so the opportunity for people, like for me, to grow so quickly was there. And, because I got quite famous for doing the reverse videos, right? And people really wanted me to do Rap God in reverse. And Sama Lama Duma Lama You Assume Nama Human What I Gotta Do. And I spent about a month. This is the last thing that I did, where I spent a month working on it and sharing the journey, and kind of like I was saying with my YouTube, how I went on a creative journey and got to share the journey with people and teach people about creativity. And it was really awesome. And it took me a month to be able to do it, and I can still remember it. It goes something like yeah. And so long story short, I got TikTok famous by doing stuff backwards and then reversing it. Yeah.
And you also have a podcast called Understanding Creativity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right. That's right. I do have that. I mean, I started that podcast a couple years ago, and I just had it on my phone, and I would take 5 minutes a day just to share my thoughts about creativity into my phone, and with the idea being like, just do it, and just a little bit a day. And I think I probably got about 10 or so episodes out in the podcast, and then I stopped doing it. But it's funny. This is the second time just in the last couple of weeks where this has actually come up. So maybe it's a sign that I should start making more podcasts like that. Yeah.
What is the difference of being a TikToker and being a YouTuber? What is the difference?
Great question. For being a TikToker and being a YouTuber, I mean, they're different communities, I think.
Yeah.
It's very much about the audience for me. It's how I see it. And TikTok, the way the app works as well. I think it's about the different audience and the community, and then also it's a different game almost. YouTube is like making longer videos where it's a lot more educational, I think. Whereas TikTok is just like fun, quick jokes, and people, scrolling. There's one person who might have, a whole world in their TikTok. 10 seconds to 30 seconds, you're in that TikTok, then you scroll and then there's a whole new world, and it's quite exciting to go from one person, one human being and what they're creating to the next one, to the next one, to the next one. So as a TikToker, what I think about is like, how can I have my, this short amount of time be as giving and entertaining and rememberable as possible. Each second counts with TikTok. Whereas I think with YouTube, you can be a bit more relaxed and a bit more, because it's the longer form content, explain a bit more and go in depth and really, really create a personal relationship with your audience. And that's one that I'm still working on. I don't feel like I've cracked YouTube yet. Yeah.
Thank you for guesting to my podcast. And I encourage you to follow him on TikTok. His username is Mitch Lagos.
Awesome, John. Thank you so much for having me on. I had a lot of fun. This is really good.
Thank you.
Great.
Thank you for guesting. Bye.
Bye.